Woke me up out of my slumber. Woke me up out of my slumber. The force awakened me and said, "What is this?" I was like, "This here." What? What? I feel like X. What? Star Wars Episode 9 will have Carrie Fisher's return. You are not hearing a joke. You're not hearing any. It's going down. It is official. The announcement was made. Billy D. Williams will return as Lando Calrissian in this film. And they announced that they are using footage that JJ shot of Carrie Fisher for episode 7. They're going to use that footage as a farewell and goodbye for Carrie Fisher. Mark Hamill will also be in the film, probably showing him as a Force ghost as we've anticipated. A lot of people have asked me about Han. Han, from what we know, will not be in the movie. From what we know, Harrison Ford really don't want to do Star Wars ever again. He was done at the Return of the Jedi. I mean, at the Empire. He was like, "Look, that's it, right?" They had to beg him to come back for Jedi and pay him handsomely for Jedi and pay him handsomely for The Force Awakens. He made over $50 million for The Force Awakens. Over $50 million. He did. He got his ankle broke and all kind of stuff, man. But shoot, he made $50 million for it, so he can crash another plane. But yes, I'm very excited as to how they're going to have Leia go out now. They said they're going to give her a proper goodbye now by putting her in this movie. And they said they got the daughter's permission to do it. They're not going to use CGI imaging for her. They're going to. Oh, yeah. And Lando Calrissian. There was a scene. Lando was going to be in the original episode 7. Lando Calrissian, and they ended up cutting him out the movie. I told you guys before, there's a scene with Lando and Leia, and they're having a conversation. That's going to be in this episode 9. They changed the entire script of episode 7 due to leaks, due to everything else, just switching direction. They had no clue until almost the end of it where they were going with the film. Episode 7 of all took the most turns of probably any Star Wars movie in history. From how they were going to rescue Rey, who was going to be caught, the actual plot. It went from a peace device to a lightsaber being the key. They were chasing the lightsaber around. Then the lightsaber just ended up becoming some artifact in a case. They changed everything. And now they're chasing a little bitty microchip now. Episode 7 changed so much that if you watch the deleted scenes, you probably have a whole different movie. There was actually a scene where Chewie rips the guy's arms off. We actually saw a Wookiee rip somebody's arms out of their sockets as he ripped off the arms of the guy who was giving out the portions. Portions! Chewie, Chewie, they cut that out. It's a lot of stuff that was gone. Now, the scene that they got is because Billy D. Williams will be in episode 9, and Mark Hamill will return as Luke Skywalker, which means he might be a Force ghost, but it might be very critical as the training of Rey. So expect this movie to take the same type of turns episode 7 did. Everything that's done now is going to be changed because we're hearing that this film is going to be 10 years later, 10 years into the future. Kylo Ren has been running the galaxy for 10 years. He's called in the Knights of Ren because they have a problem. And now the Knights of Ren are coming together. They're collecting all of these kids with Force abilities. And that's what the last scene of The Last Jedi was about, with those kids with the powers. They're going to be used not in the series that's coming up with Ryan Johnson. They actually have these kids are going to be used to tie into JJ's direction for episode 9. These kids are all going to be held hostage, and they're going to be the new Jedis. They're going to be the ones Rey's going to be training for the next 10 years. Leia is playing Leia, Princess Leia. They're going to use footage that they cut out of episode 7 and put it in 9, where she's talking with Lando Calrissian. Lando was supposed to be in 7. He got cut out of the movie. It comes out next summer. So I don't have to be cold in my Star Wars uniform. I don't got to be freezing my balls off with a Star Wars mask on. I'm out there freezing for the last 2 Star Wars movies. Like, what the hell is this? Never froze. I had to be like Black Panther. I never freeze. Yeah, it's supposed to be hot. Star Wars has always been a summer movie till they started this new stuff. Now they want to start throwing it out in the doggone wintertime. Now, finally, we get a summer release for Star Wars Episode 9. And that's only because next year they're taking a break from all these superhero movies. This year, there was no way, shape, or form you were going to get anything in there. I told you, this year was going to break box office records like crazy. And as delivered, they have all summer long. You've been getting hit with massive movie, massive movie, massive movie, massive movie. I'm like, geez, you can't breathe. You're going to go bankrupt taking, if you got kids, forget about it. You're going to go bankrupt just trying to get them all in the movies. Yeah, so in this one, Ray is supposed to have a kid with Poe Dameron. They're raising this kid. Kylo still wants Ray, and their son. We don't know if Ray and Kylo have a kid or if the kid belongs to Poe. Well, that's another thing that's going to be going on supposedly. And Kylo's been kidnapping these kids with Force abilities, and he's holding them hostage for some reason that we don't know yet. We know that they're living like the Mario Brothers now. The rebellion now is so almost obsolete. They're living in the sewers like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Doot, 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 doot. So they're now this is gonna be crazy. If Leia and Lando had a baby and Ray is they mixed baby, oh, that's gonna be something. That would tarnish the reputation of Princess Leia if they were to go that direction. You know, remember that time we was sitting up there talking about Han and he was frozen in carbonite. I gave you some of that Coke 45 that they got from Earth. Get you every time. She's gonna be no, God, I can't do it. Coke 45. Will she save the Avengers? Pretty much. They're going to draw back Captain Marvel's powers a little bit. Captain Marvel powers are going to be changed. There's a comic now that they kind of changed her origin a little bit. Like in the movie Captain Marvel, you're gonna see her getting her powers from some type of instead of her getting it from this force thing or whatever, where she got mutated with the Kree blood and everything else. She's gonna be part Kree as she finds out her abusive daddy is actually some type of Kree, and he had sex with her mom who was human. So she's part Kree, part human. So in this movie, it's going to be a part of her DNA through birth. So that's how we're going to find out about the Kree. Then she's going to hit some button that's going to activate this device to release a baby. And this baby Kree is going to come down and end up being the villain in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's powers are so great. You're going to find out why. Then she's going to find out that her dad was Captain Marvel before and blah, blah, blah. They are making this a whole new story. Oh, the DC anime movie of the year is out right now, The Death of Superman. And it is outstanding. Rosario Dawson is the voice of Wonder Woman. Um, Black Lightning is the voice of another character. It's going down. That was great. If that was the best, that's the best anime by DC right now. Death of Superman was great. They got everything great on there. Doomsday, Superman. Oh man, that was great. Yeah, she was everybody's crush in 2001. Then I saw her completely butt naked. I mean, everything. We saw all insides and everything. She was in that movie. I don't even know the name of that ridiculous movie. All I knew is she was completely naked. They had her shaved, everything. You could zoom into the cooch and everything. I was like, wow, she agreed to this? But yes, episode 9, Kylo Ren is going to find out that Rey has a kid, and he's going to be very upset about this. Now, Rey and them are going to find out Kylo Ren is doing something with these Force kids, as she's been training Jedi and got all these young kids who are Jedis. All the kids you've been seeing that were slaves and who had these Force abilities, all of these guys are going to be 10 years older now. So they're going to be in their teens. And Rey's going to be older. She has gray hair on the side. So Rey's older. So Poe Dameron and Rey has a child together. And this child has Force abilities, and Kylo is upset about it because he's in love with Rey. And we're supposed to find out Rey's true identity, who she truly is in this film. Yeah, he's always been like throwing temper tantrums in every single one, so he's gonna have another reason to throw a temper tantrum. And I wanted them to break away from that. And they claim in this one they're going to break away from that. That you're gonna actually see Kylo Ren do what Darth Vader planned on doing. He wanted to be like Vader and be a better Vader. He's actually going to accomplish that. You're going to actually see him running the galaxy. And actually, things have been great under the rule of Kylo. They have actually done great things. And that's why it's been harder for the rebellion in this film to go against Kylo Ren. Because Kylo, in the First Order, he's actually done things differently. Even though he set rules, he wanted to run the galaxy the way he saw fit. He wanted to put an end to all this Sith and all this other stuff. He's not about blowing up other planets and trying to blow stuff up. That's not his whole thing. He has a whole nother plan involved where he wants to run his army the way he wants and run the galaxy the way he wants. And everything's been smooth operations for the past 10 years under his rule. As he continuously searched for Rey and everyone else, he's been running the galaxy pretty smooth. And that's why it's hard to find people to join the rebellion to go against Kylo Ren. So I thought that was a much interesting story. But Kylo is going to have to bring in the Knights of Ren to help bring things into order. Now, the Knights had to come in from whatever Simons they were doing and across the galaxy. Once Kylo seized command, he called in the Knights of Ren. and the Knights of Ren and him have been running this galaxy. So this is going to be quite interesting. So now Mark Hamill will be in episode 9. I don't think Game of Thrones hide the fact that it's about incest. But Mark Hamill will be in episode 9. So will Carrie Fisher, and so will Lando. I wish they could have an appearance by Han, so to have all 4 of them back. So Carrie Fisher, they will use a no, she's gonna be teaching now. Rey doesn't need to be taught anymore. She knows all she needs. She's gonna be teaching Jedi. And she's gonna be teaching her own kid who's 10 years old when it comes out. When the movie comes out, it's gonna be 10 years into the future. Now, as far as Leia, they're going to be using footage from episode 7 and inserting it in episode 9. There was no part of her written in the script. So they're going to have a scene where her and Lando having some dialogue because Lando was supposed to be in episode 7, which would have made a lot more sense. So now that Lando's not in episode 7, he's out of the film completely. They're going to bring him back in 9, and then they're going to have tie in that piece with Leia talking to him, and it should come out better than the way it was. Absolutely, I predicted this. Who do I think Rey parents actually is? Lando and Leia. That wild night with that Colt 45. He gave us some Colt 45 when Han took off and left her. Went on one of his missions. Hey, Leia, I told you, Han to be Han on the drink. I know, he don't listen. I know, babe. Turn this music on. Yeah, I got this. It's called a CD. Got it on all the rad before it blew up. Yeah, here. Have another sip. Oh, this is strong. Yeah, it does the trick every time. See, you just gotta relax. Get him off your mind. Now, Rey is a clone. That is 100% what I believe. Of course, the Lando thing, that's just in theory and it's a joke. It's funny, but that would be very interesting to Star Wars fans. That'd be hard to explain. I don't think they would be ready for that. They're gonna be interracial dating in Star Wars. This is ridiculous. When they talked about Finn and Rey being together, that was funny. Look at this. They got this interracial couple going on in Star Wars. It'd be like, well, you seeing aliens date all kind of things in Star Wars, but an interracial couple in Star Wars shakes you up. It'd be like if Rey was sleeping or if Leia had an affair with Chewie, I think you guys would be okay with that. But the black guy can't date the white girl. Oh man, y'all got me in the bed cracking up this morning. That's why they pivoted. They pivoting this whole script now. Rey was the love interest of Finn. People was kind of soured to the idea of the black guy and and the white girl being together. So they pivoted. Now you've seen them write in a whole Asian character to give him a nice, cute Asian girl. We're gonna throw her in there for him. Now he got a cute little Asian piece. Now they be like, yeah, go chase that, Finn. We're gonna write you over there. Now we're gonna bring in Poe Dameron. Poe and Rey. Watch what I tell you. Asian piece was a 6. She's actually really cute. They just didn't like when you saw her on the Oscars night, she was cute. They actually dressed her as what she was supposed to be in the movie. She wasn't supposed to be dressed up or looking nice. She was meant to look like somebody that worked in the doggone down there on the pipes and stuff. That's how she was supposed to look. But if you go on like her Twitter account and Instagram, all that stuff, she is actually cute. I don't know how old the Asian piece is. Okay. You can't say, hey man, I want to hit that. You go over there and find out they 19 or 20. You be like, ugh, can't do that. Yeah, I have those books where Vader had to basically slaughter his own own clones that they had. No, Harry Potter just have a more modern story because of the technology that was provided by George Lucas. But no Harry Potter is better than the original Star Wars. Sorry. Some of the Harry Potters were terrible. Now they are great books. The books are great. They're great to read, but some of them don't. They're not meant to be movies. The first one wasn't great. The second one was actually good as far as a movie. And the first one, he don't do anything. Nothing really happens. They play Quidditch, and then that's about it. It's just a bunch of talking going on to the actual end when they go in that whole little room. Now, the Chambers of Secrets was better to me as a movie. Then comes the ridiculous Prisoner of Azkaban. I was disgusted with the Prisoner of Azkaban. I could not stand that one bit. I didn't read the book, so I came in there thinking Sirius Black. I love the name. I said, "Oh, Sirius Black, man, that is the dopest name ever." Super Serious Black. That's gonna be the villain. See, if you read the book, you already know that's his uncle and all this stuff. He's a good guy and all that. I don't know nothing about all this. I haven't read the book. So I'm watching the movie like, oh, right, it's jumping off. Gary Oldman is Sirius Black. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm watching this. Next thing you know, hey, you're my Uncle Sirius. Okay, Harry. I'm like, what? That's my nephew. What are we watching here? And the best Harry Potter followed the Goblet of Fire. The best Harry Potter movie ever. Ever. Everything. They brought back Voldemort. As soon as he got there, they killed the spaz. They killed him right away. Woof. He was gone. There wasn't no he was gone immediately. Killed the spaz. Dude, Robert Pattinson from Twilight. They killed Twilight in 2 seconds. As soon as they got there, killed the spaz. Man, that line had me. I used to rewind that. The Half Blood Prince is good. And part 2. Purple Minded, you on point. You are on point. I like the way you do business. Purple Minded is on point. He just gave you 3 of the best Harry Potters there is. Goblet of Fire, the Half Blood Prince, and the Deathly Hollows Part 2. Because why they stretched that out to 2 films is just for the money. They did it for the bag. Because Part 1 was the dumbest movie ever put together. Even though I love the beginning. She would even have them mate with him. Had that snake go ahead, eat that doggone teacher up. Yes, Harry Potter dies in part 2 of the Deathly Hollows. It got to the point after I seen Deathly Hollows 2, after Voldemort killed him, I was out. See, when they originally wrote this story, they were gonna have Harry and Hermione date. When J.K. Rowling first was writing the book, it was going in that direction. But she ended up changing it and surprising people because of her writing skills. She was able to broaden off and do something different and have her connect with the character who's not normally the person that, but in real life, that's how it goes sometimes. Everyone thinks that the most popular guy and the girl that's most popular, those two are gonna hook up and date. In movies that happen, but in real life, it don't really happen that way. That person end up liking one of your homeboys and end up hooking up with him, and you probably hook up with a whole nother chick that ain't got nothing to do with her. That's how it happens. And because of their friendship, they were just cool. Her and she was more into Ron. And Ron, that whole little thing they had, Ron liked her the whole time, but he was just that's why Ron was just a hater. He was a bona fide hater. Nobody hated worse than Ron. Oh, Voldemort was great. Ron was hating for 7 movies straight. There wasn't a movie he wasn't hating in. He might as well go ahead and join. What's his name? He should have joined Voldemort and all them. He was stand down, Neville. Neville was in there. Neville Longbottom. Man, that cracked me up. What is your name? Neville Longbottom. All right. Well, I think there's a way to find a position in the ranks. Voldemort was trying to help him out. I think we can find a position in the ranks for you, Mr. Longbottom. They was stand down, Neville. Oh man. Yeah, I got it. Somebody keep telling me about this Cloak and Daggers. I need to check it out. But anyway, back to Star Wars. J.J. Abrams is Episode 7 is the most changed movie of any Star Wars film. Believe me, there's footage you haven't seen that has not been released from Star Wars Episode 7. And because of it, and proof of it, is the scene with Princess Leia and Lando. That's not even in the deleted scenes. They're going to put it in this movie that you're going to see in Episode 9 to bring Leia back. Lando was in Episode 7 and they cut it out. So now he's going to return and now it's going to bring everything together. And like I told you,
I heard you're looking for some neighbor. Hello, Ray. I'm going to make you pay for what you've done.
I suggest kindly that you let go of me.
And I suggest less kindly that you come with me. You have no idea the trouble you are in. Hey! I'm not afraid of you. Half of me isn't much.
so
Definition of a battlefield was an interesting thing.
right, because we all heard stories about Chewie ripping arms out of sockets, but he didn't mean humans. Han meant droids. He was talking about ripping droids' arms out of their sockets. So in Episode 7, there are tons of stuff deleted in Episode 7. There's a whole fight scene with Rey and Finn that you've never seen. Like, it doesn't even connect to the movie.
Switch races!
She's wearing Finn's jacket. Everything's going wrong. This whole story was completely changed. One, because they fired a guy and who ended up leaking the entire script. On the anonymously, he just leaked the script out. Mad because he got fired. Well, I want to see the Boba Fett movie as much as I want to see the Kenobi movie. The Kenobi movie will be the end of the trilogy. It's Han, Boba Fett, and Kenobi. And one thing they're all gonna have together is Tatooine. They're all gonna be connected on Tatooine. So you say the storyline jumped too much for what? For Star Wars? All these changes happen, I mean, outside of the script. This is not that's actually seen on the screen. On the screen has been really easy to follow. Right, it doesn't jump. All the stuff that's jumping is outside of the stuff that you don't see in the movie. They film about three different movies and then decide which movie they're gonna put out. Yeah, I just gave you the whole script of episode 9. Episode 9 is 10 years later. Here, I'm gonna just give you a quick rundown of episode 9 script. If you don't want to hear the episode 9 script, you can click out now and don't have to listen to it. Here's episode 9 script. It is 10 years later in the future. Rey is teaching Jedi's. Those kids you saw when that was people was using the Force, that ties into episode 9. Kylo Ren is running the galaxy smoothly. He's brought in the Knights of Ren to help him run the galaxy, and they are definitely doing their job. They're doing it so well, the rebellion is having a hard time recruit people to join the rebellion. They're living in the sewers. That's how bad it's gotten for them. It's hot. They can't go nowhere. So they've been living in the sewers like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Rey is teaching Jedi now. She's got a whole new thing of Jedi's. Her and Poe Dameron has a kid that's like 10 years old. And this kid has force abilities. And in the movie, you're led to believe if Kylo is the father, and it's nuts. But that's Poe Dameron's child, and Kylo still wants Rey combing the galaxy. They find out from a spy that Kylo's kidnapping kids with force abilities. They don't know what they're using them for. So Rey and them wants to go save these kids and and free them and all this stuff. And they're gonna find out it's a lot more to the plot that what's going on and what Kylo plan is with these kids with all these force abilities. And Luke's coming back. You're gonna have Lando come back. It's going down. And we're gonna find out that Rey is an actual clone of Darth Sidious. That she has no mother, she has no father. She is a clone. No black people in Star Wars, then what is Finn in Lando? we, that is funny because Finn's black face is one of the first things you see. Mace Windu. I mean, Lando Calrissian he got to fly the Millennium Falcon. Oh man.
It's gonna be just fine.
Is strong. He is to be trained then? No, motherfucker. He will not be trained. No. Mundo, motherfucker. He's too old. He is the chosen one. You must see it. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Take Anakin as my Padawan. Wrong. Code forbids it, motherfucker. Best back off. I'm getting a little pissed here. Motherfucker. Now, when you yell at me, it makes me nervous. When I get nervous, I get scared. When motherfuckers get scared, that's when motherfuckers accidentally get shot. Yeah?
Oh, we need this. I wish this is the deleted scenes of Mace Windu.
Them motherfuckers stay here. I know that can't go. It's cool. Stay cool. Nobody gets hurt. Us too. Correct the mundo. Motherfucker. How pleasant of you to join us. This party's over. Motherfucker. Brave. But foolish, my old Jedi friend. Possibly outnumbered. Yeah, Negro. I don't think so. Motherfucker. We'll see. No, nigga, come on. I'm Super Fly TNT, motherfucker. Motherfucker, I'm the son of the Navajo. Fuck out my face with this. I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. Absolutely positivity. Kill every motherfucker in the room. Yes, sir.
Oh man!
This nigga up on that man. I understand. What? Say what again? Say what again, motherfucker? Say what one more goddamn time. It's unfair. What? English, motherfucker! How can you be on the council and not be a master? Who the hell is this nigga? Take a seat, young Skywalker. Sit your ass down. Forgive me, master. Fuck you. Now, that may seem like a good idea.
Oh man!
He's right. It's a system we cannot afford to lose. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Seem like I asked you who this nigga on that man.
Oh.
You owe me some money, motherfucker. Master Windu. In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, motherfucker. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? Your ass ain't talking your way out of this shit. You almost got right there, motherfucker. It's treason.
Oh.
Piss drinking motherfucker. Just hang back. I told you it was information. This is will never return. You have lost. No. See, I can be a motherfucking role model.
Oh man. Man, oh man. That is hilarious. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. Some of that audio, man, is definitely classic. A lot of it was from Pulp Fiction. Some of it I remember, and some of them are from other movies that I used to have down pat. Y'all still arguing with Super Rudd? People in here arguing with Super Rudd. I'm keeping it going just for people arguing with him. People like, hey, what's going on in here? Oh no, Brian Johnson's doing his 3 films. He's got 3 films. Kathleen Turner has not deterred from him doing his 3 films.